Alright, let's get back into this. Now, I've discovered something that I had missed last time, so I gotta backtrack to something real quick. So we can see something real creepy. Back in the janitor's break room. Apparently there's some extra videotapes we've been missing. I mean me. Okay. Fast travel. I think it was... place for that. Let's see, it's... janitor's office. So it's here somewhere. Also, I don't know what this is. I missed something there, apparently. So ventilation, I guess? Yes, Doggo, this is very SCP type spookiness. It's not actually SCP, but it is extremely similar. And it's mostly an action game, but it's very atmospheric and creepy, so... focus on the action, but still spooks exist. Oh yes, Doggo, and you missed the most important detail of this game. This pistol I've got. See how it's all weird and magic-y? So this pistol is called the service weapon, and only the director of this of the Federal Bureau of Control is allowed to wield it. Now, apparently this is a manifestation of basically the concept of a chosen legendary weapon, and it has held different forms before in the past, such as two notable examples of other weapons in history that have had legends attached to them that involve the idea of only the worthy may wield them. This gun also at one time used to be Excalibur, and at another time this gun was also Mjolnir. And now it is the director's service weapon. And it changes shape. Right now I can do it as a sniper shot, or I can do it as a chain gun. Also, fun fact, this game was made by the same developers that made Alan Wake, and they've apparently revealed that the two games take place in the same universe. It's combobulated. We get to the break room. Basically, the events of Alan Wake are connected to the events of this game. It's called the Oldest House, Kai. The Federal Bureau of Control takes place in basically a location of power called the Oldest House. I guess the thing belongs here? I don't know. That. Hey, True Whopper, are you trying to look at the game and see the setting? Oh, the setting is in where it takes place, you mean? Basically, it's modern day Earth, but it's like their own version of it. And yeah, the events of Alan Wake were mentioned in this game. Like, if you remember Alan Wake, remember how there was that fancy light switch that he used towards the end of the game as a Beat the Darkness MacGuffin? That was listed by the Federal Bureau of Control as a known object of power. Now, it's supposed to be videotape around here somewhere. Oh, the wrong place. Maybe it's in here. This is it. Anything else? Okay. All right. This is creepy.
Hey, man! What are you drawing? I'm drawing a dog!
I'm drawing the pyramid.
The what?
The pyramid.
What's a pyramid?
The Black Pyramid. It's in the astral plane.
Airplane?
Astral plane. It's big, white, and empty.
Like
Or
your
is
head.
it? It's a weird, crazy alien dimension. The white goes on forever. You can get lost in all that white and never find your way back home.
I miss my home.
God, that's so creepy. So here's the creepiest part about that little video there. We read a note about those earlier in the game. Those are basically supposed to be training videos for kids who, for whatever reason, got absorbed into the Bureau of Control because there's something supernatural about them in some way, or they've experienced something and they can't be allowed to just mix in with society in general anymore. They're being raised here and they're going to eventually be trained to work here. To be basically the government agents of hiding supernatural shit from everybody else. And that's supposed to be a video that helps them understand what's going on here. God damn, that was creepy. Yeah, even the intro part of it was unsettling, and it just got worse after that. Meg knows what's going on, though. Oh, let's also say hello to the best character in the game.
The containment sector has blown to pussy splinters. The work won't end even if you keep doing it.
Hi, bud. How you doing, boss? So this here is Ahti. He's the head janitor. He's our boss. And, well, technically we're the director of the whole place, but he like, helps us what we need to do.
Oh, what's the worst thing about this vermin? Satana. The noise.
He's like a weird, creepy Finnish man. Now, a couple of things. Everybody in this building is being possessed by some weird astral entity called the Hiss. It's taking over their minds and making them attack people. Everybody has to wear a certain, what they call them HR raids. It's like a machine that goes on their chest that stops them from being possessed. Now our character has some sort of benign astral entity in our mind that's protecting us from that. I don't know why Ahti here doesn't need one, but he's okay. Although I suspect that he's either not human or there's something more than human about him. I don't know what he is, but he's something. He's proven that he can read our mind in the past, and he knows way more shit than he should. There's something going on with that boy. Oh,
They are very good listeners. It's back. What would kill a bad thing? Paska mikä paska.
Yeah, something's going on with the janitor here. We don't know what yet, but there is, Ahti's an object of power? I don't think he's an object of power. I think he's just not fully human. A person of power, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's like the embodiment of the concept of a custodian in the classic sense, not in the cleaning things up sense. But anyways, let's see. Okay, these clear. What, the Clog? Clog's back? Oh man. Alright. Also, he has an ancient enemy called the Clog, which is like sentient poop or something that messes up the sewer drains and things. We already killed it once earlier. I guess we're gonna have to do it again. But aside from the astral entity called the Hiss that's taking over people's minds, we haven't, and the Clog, aside from those two things, we haven't encountered any actual monsters yet. Most of the stuff has been objects of power, which are often either corrupted by the Hiss or just haunted in their own ways. For example, there was a furnace that was talking to somebody in their brain, trying to get her to feed people. So that was fun. Coolant pumps. That should be where the Clog is. Where it was before, anyway. Oh, hello. Have cardboard box for your death. Whatever that means. Oh yeah, another fun note about my gun. It regenerates ammo. So I'll never run out, I just have to stop firing sometimes. And I can do weird... Ow, that was dumb. I can do weird telekinetic punches and almost kill myself. Fun. Let's sniper mode this guy. Gotta be careful with the telekinetic stuff sometimes. Okay, okay. Did he despawn because I got too far away? That'll happen. Sniper shot is crazy strong. Ah, goddammit, where'd you come from? Sneaky bastard. Hiding on me. And the funny thing with the furnace is there was even a lady making a tape to try to explain it so that the people in charge of investigating the objects of power could examine it. And she's trying to convince them that it can talk, and then she's like, "Here, do you hear that?" And you don't hear anything. It was like obviously talking to her in her mind. And she's like, "What? You want me to feed you? What do you eat?" "Oh, okay, I'll see if I can find any volunteers." It's like, wow, that's ominous. So something happened to our character in our childhood that has left us with this astral entity in our mind, and that's why we have powers. And also, something happened to our brother at the same time that caused the Federal Bureau of Control to take him away from us. And that's why we have "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" in our title today. Because we are trying to find our brother in here. Which is why we showed up at this place in the first place. Then after we showed up, we found the former director had shot himself in the head. I'm not sure how willingly. Personally, my theory is that there seems to be something wrong with that guy. I think something corrupted him. And the service weapon found him unworthy and rejected him and made him kill himself. Just in time for our character to show up, come across the freshly dead body, and claim the gun for ourselves. Or should I say, we were probably led to the gun, because the gun wanted us instead. Alright, last time Clog was here. Well, it says pump station. I guess this... The place labeled as pump station, so this is probably got to be it. Huh. Where are you, sentient poop demon? Yeah, it might be something like that, doggo. Kind of like the One Ring. Or there might be more to it. I don't know. The game hasn't revealed to us why the former director committed suicide. Although, actually, check something. Oh, we have something about the oldest house. I don't think I've seen this yet.
August 4th, 1964. We discovered the oldest house while investigating a suspected altered world event case in the New York City subway tunnels.
Look how excitable this guy gets.
The agents found their way up into the building.
So interested.
Once we became aware of it, it was there. For the rest of the population, it was hiding in plain sight. A slippery blind spot, seemingly discouraging observation. It's a place of power. An ongoing AWE of its own, seemingly adhering to its physical outer constraints and yet constantly breaking the known boundaries of reality. It's unstable, shifting. Note, for more details on control points and the research and process to stabilize and secure the core sectors, refer to a separate presentation. After extensive research and investigation, the Bureau made the building its headquarters on November 13th, 1968. The Federal Bureau of Control was never out in the open. This was always an obfuscated, classified top-secret operation. So imagine our surprise when the building's observation-resistant aspects began in some unquantifiable way to affect the Bureau as a whole.
So that's interesting that it came up just now during our conversation about our character being led to where maybe the service weapon or whatever wanted us to be, because, as he said, it's observation resistant. The building we're in cannot be found unless you're specifically looking for it because you know it exists, or unless it wants you to find it. And our character just happened to have been looking for it for like 15 to 20 years. And just now found it, just as these events were beginning to happen, just as the former director died, and we took over. There's no way in hell that's a coincidence. So post box that paralyzes people? Strange. Actually, let's go back to that for a second. Okay, these ones here, these objects of powers are ones that we have encountered and we got our... This is what we got our powers from. This floppy disk is how we got the power of telekinesis, because this is a Soviet area diskette that contained nuclear launch codes. It lets us launch things. The merry-go-round horse is what gave us the ability to zip forward through the air. Here's one about the service weapon. This thing lets us take over people's minds. There's one thing I can do. If I get an enemy low on health, I can convert them to my side. Then there's the hotline, which I can use to talk to either the former director or the board. And the board is some sort of astral entity. It's like conglomeration entity, like a gestalt or something. They call it the board, and it talks with multiple voices at once, but it acts as one entity. It hasn't talked to us in a little while, though. But it's trying to help us, resist the bad ones. Anyways, where the hell is the mission we're doing? Yeah, we can do this now too, by the way. That's new. We just got that. Oh yeah, and sometimes there's just people hanging in the air sometimes. That's just a thing that happens here now. I mean, it's been happening the whole game, but you know. Okay, so I'm a little confused by this mission. Clog from the pump station. Oh, if this... I mean, it says coolant pumps, so this has to be the pump station, right? Well, floaty people need a name? How about the floaty people? The floaties. Not very creative name, but it's logical at least. What am I supposed to do? On side quest to be less confusing. What do you want from me? Retards. Overcharge is pretty good. I like that. God damn it. Somebody look up this quest for me and tell me what I'm supposed to actually do, because this is not working. What a mess, clear the clog. What a mess, talk to the plants. The research sector. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can do that first. Oh shit. Okay. Battling, boys and girls! Oh. Correct. That's my bucket. Uh-oh. Ah! Now who is the floaty death person? Death by whatever this is. Find the scaffolding, remove the battery, and put it on the wall. Okay. Oh, this is
Hello again, Mr. Clog.
Oh,
You've really let yourself go.
I think I just stumbled into it. Thank you, doggo. I think I just found it by accident. Okay, I need a battery. 2. 3. I'm amazed I don't break these batteries by slamming them into place like that. Oh, hovering. Can I have this one back now? You. There. Activate drain pump. Guess that's this.
We should go down there to clear out the rest of it.
And oh yeah, that weird and unsettling music, that was Ahti the janitor, by the way. Oh, water cooler is also a object of power, apparently. The object's true shape and appearance are unknown. It has been known to take the form of the following objects: ring of keys, lunchbox, wrench, microscope, stapler, glasses, mail tubes, and spoon. Yeah, it can move around and change shape, and other than that, it doesn't seem to do anything. Weird. Lower level. It's not really a theme song per se, doggo. It's like sometimes we come across a radio that's playing, and it's playing a recording of the janitor singing something. Not just his, like, a song about him, it's a song that he's singing. Hold on. See, there it is, there's this little radio here. He's a good singer, eh? Alright, so just for the lower level. Does this mean I go back to where I saw him originally now? Oh, other side. Oh, also, if you ever hear Jesse's voice seeming a little echoey and her mouth's not moving, that's because she's thinking. That's her inner dialogue. She's thinking. Usually that's her talking to this astral entity that's in her head, which is called Polaris, by the way. be in here. Well, I mean, that's how shows and things generally indicate that somebody's just thinking. It's like echoey. I don't know. It's just a thing that happens. Oh, there's the hiss noise. Hey Doggo, you still got that walkthrough open? I'm once again unsure what to do. Something here? Back up this. That levitation is really good for getting a good line of fire on people. You know what? Let's take you over. You work for me now, bitch. I did that step already, Doggo. What's the step after, what's the next 2 steps after that? The handle to unlock the door nearby. Oh, good. It unlocked this door right beside the handle. I didn't even notice. Ah, typical.